feel a little bit better. Actually, it's already looking good. Okay, we'll call the finance meeting to order at 6:29. Roll call,
Michelle Dumont,
here.
Bob Hangborn,
Here.
Corey Harrier.
Here. And then I'll give you a little time to look through the minutes and I'll look through this. So when you've, so Penny, I'm looking at that daily cash receipts.
Okay.
When it says post it to the wrong accounts moved around, that's just like post it to the wrong.
How much is it?
It was for 120, it was 129 for the sewer, 56.94.
Oh, that was a credit on the sewer, and we plugged it all in under sewer. So then and then it looked like they were outstanding on the debt and the maintenance, so we
Had to
just
move it
moved the
around.
money around.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So it really wasn't
Casey.
long, we just had to,
That box is
So
on
what's
the screen.
credit, with CSP? It looks like it's for
That
352.81.
box
Says
is
leak
on the
adjustment.
we did a credit for a leak.
Oh, so they had a leak.
Yeah, so we had a leak and we went to Walnut Creek Sewer District for a credit.
Okay.
So,
Oh, and that's where they,
and that's where we give the credit, yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was 2 of them last month.
Okay.
One was for
Yep.
the church and somebody else, I'm not for
Yep.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yep.
We finished our audit?
Well, no. They sent a payment in, I had to make a payment, the state sent me a payment. They sent me an invoice telling me what I can pay, that the company's turned in, but I have not got a recall back to them. I sent them an email and said, I'm mailing your payment today, like it's almost 80% of what we owe. And I said, do you have an update? And they've not gotten back with me, I need to get back with them and.
So have, you been able to read through the minutes?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to pass, or I guess pass the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then we'll move into the approval of docs. Bob's already looking at the payment listing and the bank rec. So the bottom line, the 1635 on the payment listing, Penny, it looks like that's where basically we move the mayor's court funds over, correct?
Well, what
It's just a new
happened
one.
was, Sam and I, we have to balance the mayor's court every month.
Yeah,
I told Sam, I'm short $1,600, what,
yeah,
what the world? So then we started looking, we had the guy from, not Baldwin, what's the other group? Oh, Bridge Payments. Sent me a thing, and I started checking here, I don't know how, but it got clicked back, and it was depositing all the money. When we first started, all the money was going into our operating checking account.
yeah,
So then, once we got the mayor's court going up, we changed it, the mayor court one went to mayor's court, and the operating, like the water bills went to the operating one.
right,
Well, then somehow it got flipped, and the mayor's court was going into the operating, not to the mayor court's
right,
checking account.
okay.
So that's what that 16 whatever is in there,
Okay.
1635, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Okay,
And I think there's one more in there too, maybe. 600 maybe dollars or something. And I just staple all the back up and put it in a folder at the office. I mean, I can bring it in to you
no,
guys.
that makes sense, it makes sense. Especially since it's so new.
And there's a new one on there.
So
The Water
the-
Solution Unlimited, $2,030.20. That is, I didn't write on there what it was, cause at first I couldn't remember what it was, but we bought, concrete, not concrete, what's this, Casey, what's the stuff you use? The patch holes, cool patch, and
Okay,
we bought it in bags and we bought it from them, that's
Okay.
what that is.
okay.
Cause that's new, that's something different.
On the Garver asset protection, you got 300, then -3, you took it away and then you added it back. Was that just
I
some kind of
voided
error?
the check, yeah, I voided the check.
Okay,
I was on the wrong printer and it printed out on a blank piece of paper instead of check.
yeah. And is that for our car payment or?
Yeah, what we're doing is, and I think we approved this 2 months ago.
Yeah,
We approved this, that we mow their yard and then they take $50 a mowing off of our, what we would pay for a lease for the car.
oh, okay, okay,
So,
okay.
and that's what that is.
Gotcha,
Cause it's normally $500
right. So is it 50 a week then?
for mowing, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
He
a
mows
significant
their-
savings,
He mows
yeah.
their place, the lot, and then the extra lot.
Yeah,
So,
that's a pretty good chunk off though.
yeah. And it helps them and it helps, helps
Right.
us.
So I didn't know if anybody else had other questions on any of the approval documents or? We'll let you have time to take a look. Oh, yeah, no rush. We're actually doing great on time. I got here ahead, that's why.
It's funny, I only lived here 3 years, and I can't not remember paying a water deposit. I know I did. You guys wouldn't have turned my water,
Yeah,
but it's just like you don't remember that stuff.
Casey. He said there's a mouse out there that you can click it off or wait a couple minutes and it may disappear on its own. I've never seen it pop up. He said there's a mouse out there that you should be able to hit the little X. I don't know where there's a mouse.
So my goal this month is, I had it on last month, but I didn't get there, so I apologize. We have old checks on the bank rec,
mhm,
and I'm gonna start merging them off and getting them adjusted off.
okay. So when you say old checks on the bank rec,
From like 2019.
okay, so they're past their, what we have to save them, basically, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
makes sense.
So we have to move them into an account, and then we have to leave them sit there for a year, and then once if they don't come back and ask for them or whatever, then we move them, and we can move them into like our general fund then, or whatever.
Okay.
What's McLaren Industries? I know I've asked that before.
I'm looking, I'm sorry. Where is it, McLaren?
McLaren,
Oh, look, I see him.
$3,400,
Ta-da.
3,450.
McLaren Industries. McLaren is the tires you got.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
I knew that heard it before, I just didn't know what it is.
We're being on the water tower. I got a check for AO Industries for the Westfield water tower, right?
That's, I paid them.
For the work that's not done.
Supposedly the work they did do.
not been back, has he? Has he been back?
Yeah.
Was he supposed to come back?
Yeah,
Later,
like 3 months
later,
ago.
I think later,
Later?
That's a Jason conversation.
yes.
Okay. I was wondering why we're paying him.
No,
Well,
we
that's
were,
for work they done already. That was from months back, cause it takes me, is that on payments? Yeah, it's last month. That was the one, what they worked last month, so it would've been the prior month to them.
Okay.
So that would've been in June.
Who's Casey at? Oh, that's you, Casey. I was like, I didn't think that was your last name for some reason. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical.
That's just missing the hole. It's a good thing you didn't name him Jay. I tried. My wife said no.
Your debit is becoming a Visa card.
those guys are probably tired of me.
Huh?
I said, those guys are probably tired of me.
Who?
Mike and Pete.
Oh, well.
I get a kick out of these little pictures and checks at the end. Sometimes I write checks and I can't remember what they're for either. So, I can look at the pictures online, but. All right, I'm done.
Okay. No questions? More than, okay. So, moving on, does anyone have any old business?
We have to approve, make a motion.
Oh,
and
sorry,
approve.
thank you.
That's all right. Sorry.
Do we have a motion to approve the documents, the cash journal, cash summary, fund ledger, status, payment listing, so on?
Make a motion.
Now I'm laughing. Everybody, what do I say now? Like,
All in favor?
all in favor, say aye.
All opposed, same sign.
All opposed, same sign, thank you.
Motion carried.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So new business, we have resolution 08-08-24-01 supplemental appropriations that we'll discuss at the general council meeting. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
So then do I have to say aye again? I'm not really great at this, okay. So we are gonna close the finance meeting at 6:44 PM. Yeah, not really. You made me laugh. I actually, at the beginning of it, I was like, I'm doing good, and then you made me laugh, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
We'll pause it.
I
Thank
had
you.
to run a meeting last night for Los Potomac, and it was hysterical. Everyone, "Oh, I have to take a walk." Oh, yeah, let's let's,
Very construction, whatever, so I come up with these ideas, and I'm like, oh, it's easy, blah, 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 and he's like, you always say that, and it never is. He was like, you have no idea what goes into it, you just come up with the ideas. I'm like, that's right.
And they said it's so labor intensive. Yeah, we're getting ready to do our entire back walk, so.
He'll be great at it. Okay, we'll call the Village of Pleasantville Council meeting to order at 7:02. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Henderson, President Dumont,
Here.
Councilman Mason,
Here.
Councilman Pangborn.
Here.
Councilwoman Harrier. Here. Councilwoman Morton. Here. Councilwoman Henry.
Here. Have we reviewed the minutes and have a motion?
I have a motion.
Anyone second?
Who was that? Was that Bill?
Bill
Thank you.
first.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Say aye.
Oh, I have to,
Oh,
I have to.
oh,
roll
roll
call.
call.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call.
Who seconded it?
I
Well,
did.
when they make a
Sarah.
motion and second, will you repeat that for me, please?
Okay.
That Bill made the motion and
Yeah,
Sarah
Bill
seconded
made the
it?
motion and Sarah seconded
Just so
it.
I can hear and not have to
Yeah.
watch. Okay. President Dumont,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier.
Yes.
Councilman Wharton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes. Okay,
And Sarah's not here. Sarah Bratton is not here.
okay, okay. Any other business from the guests?
Yes.
Okay,
A few questions.
Yep.
Here.
yep.
So I have a few, in regards to the, storm sewer.
Okay,
Do we have a schedule of completion?
Okay, I can field that right now.
I know for all my projects.
Right.
Initially, when the project starts.
Totally
I have to submit
understand,
a
yeah.
schedule that,
Yes.
with milestones and everything.
Well, and they haven't met any of the milestones or any of the schedules.
Does anybody hold that schedule?
We are trying to get a new schedule.
Okay.
What happened to the first one? They never submitted it. It was all verbal. They said they submitted it, we never received it.
I'm just, yeah, I'm not allowed to start any project. I mean, I do huge, I have a massive project. Anybody flying out of Port Columbus, you'll see I have a massive project going on there. I could not step foot on that project without a schedule.
Right. And, so that is in the process, we should have gotten it by now, because the county's involved in that. Because it's under CDBG funds,
Okay?
one of those funds.
Mhm.
I know,
Yeah, it's CDBG, you got it right.
Okay, it's under the CBG funds, which is the county held.
Sure.
And, yeah, that time schedule we got is.
We're just trying to get a kind of big picture
Yeah.
look at what we think, things will be back to order. Who is inspecting? Who's our on-site inspector, our RPR?
That would probably be Verdandis, our engineer.
I'm sorry?
Verdandis, our engineer.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, Trevor's been through.
I've done this stuff a long time, and the way they're doing stuff is not gonna hold up.
Right,
I mean, that roadway, there's nothing under it.
yeah.
They throw gravel on it, you can't compact gravel under asphalt, you can't, I'm sorry. You try all you want,
We know,
that road's gonna cave in a couple years.
that's why,
We just see this stuff so we know. I mean,
Yeah, no.
we're held to the highest. We're inspected by FAA and ODOT,
Yeah.
so.
To make sure they're doing the right job.
And I'm all for the contractors, trust me, I'm a contractor, but just kind of, as a
Right.
homeowner there.
Right.
Things we want to know. Laydown area, where is their designated laydown area?
they coordinated that with,
Because it should be on the drawings, right? Is this the drawings right here?
No.
No.
Okay. Because normally, like any drawings that I'm provided for any project I do, it designates a laydown area that at the end of the night, my men must have their equipment and material in that designated laydown area. It kind of not feels like it, anybody can drive down through there and see it's just a hodgepodge of where we stop at the end of the night, stuff is left. not that I care, but I've had, you know,
Yeah.
loaders left in my front yard. I don't care. That doesn't bother me, honestly. It more bothered me when my neighbors that work in the evenings and come home late at night have a loader parked in their parking spot and they don't even have anywhere to park. That's not right, you know? So I'm kind of wondering where their designated laydown area is, of where they're supposed to park. And then the fire hydrant, they're hooking up to our fire hydrants. I pay for water. I mean, there's no meter or backflow prevention. That's an EPA violation. Just kind of curious on that. And then another thing our neighbors have brought up to us, and I said I would bring up, is the streetscape. Will they be replanting any of the trees that are cut down?
No,
So that is not set to go back?
no.
Okay. Because I think we all know how much streetscape makes a town. It makes it livable, you know, approachable, people driving through, people living here. Streetscape is a huge thing. So
Right.
we were just curious about that as well.
Yeah.
The only thing I would tell you, and of course I have not been part of these plans, but, the only thing I would tell you is I understand the whole streetscape thing, because believe me, it sells properties and that kind of thing. But we do have, like, for instance, our sewers just got inspected. A lot of the sewer back was a lot of times the trees along the roadways are actually busting into our sewers, and that costs a ton of money. Like, we actually will soon be coming through and repairing. And actually, the alley right there beside Oscar's is one of the areas, because I looked at the plans last sewer board meeting, and there's actual lots of roots. That's one of the areas that has to be repaired, so.
We're just curious.
No, I'm just letting you know some reasons that maybe not. The other thing is when they do go bad, when they're on that basically, those trees basically are on the village. So of course, that of course comes out of any dollars that we have here to have them removed. Not that they would need removed for years if they're new, but.
Right, because
but,
also,
yeah.
new people coming into town also brings money to the village.
Right, totally agree, just it's long-term, a lot of times there's, gotta look at several different things to determine, and if it wasn't put into the plans to begin with, to put them back in, then there's other reasons too. I just know right now, cause we're working on the sewers with the sewer board, that some of that area right where we're at actually has roots, cause there's a drain right there, and a lot of times that even gets backed up, and we've had complaints that gets backed up even after the boys clean it. And looking at the plans, I was like, well, if it's in the sewer, those tree roots are probably even in that storm sewer, yeah, which will back up. Because it's one of the things that Oscar's come to me about, because that'll actually get, you know, and.
He wasn't one of the ones, but.
No, and I'm not I'm just saying things that I've heard. When I seen the actual
It's just before you
sewer
drive down the street, you
sewer
see, you know,
lines, and
pretty
here we have to
landscape
go in and
right.
like drill those roots out of the sewer line. I
Yeah.
thought that's exactly what's going on with our storm sewer, because it'll back up, Oscar will ask for it to be cleaned, and then it rains again. And I'm like, our storm sewers probably have the same problem that our sewage sewer has.
It's really,
And it's all related to trees.
it was really sort of interesting, because they had it all.
Yeah.
The sewer board did an I&I, and it cost a lot of money,
Yeah.
like $700,000 or something, and they did all of Thurston and all of Pleasantville, and there's like, they have it all marked out where they couldn't get through because of tree limbs going
Yeah.
through all, and breaking the joints, and we're losing, waters coming in, and all
Yeah.
kinds of weird stuff.
It was
so-
interesting.
Do we have, and this is one last question, do we have a safety inspector on site?
That I'm not.
I think,
Is
I'd have to-
anybody
I'd have to
inspecting their
ask.
work site, like, before I can, again, not to go back to my job sites, I know that's irrelevant, but before we can leave the job site at the end of the night, we have an RPR on site that says, okay, everything's kosher, it's good, I'm good with you leaving and leaving it the way it is. Because, and that's just on an airfield, that's not even in a town where there's children and people out walking around that could fall into these holes. I know one of the holes that was left out in front of my house, we have a photo of where it was just a broken piece of plywood over the hole. There's, thank God I don't have little kids, but there's,
there's no picture.
oh, easily a gap. I mean, we have photos of it, that
Do
a
you
kid could have easily fell through and fell down into the hole. We actually had to tell some little boys that were out there, I mean, they're little boys, they're
Right,
wanting to see what
right.
the hole is about.
Exactly.
And I said, be careful, honey, you might get hurt. That's unacceptable.
Do you think it would be best if we had, Jason's obviously not here tonight because he's not
Sure.
sitting there. Would you like to get it, because I think that he has had conversations with people that none of us have privy to, and I think he would be able to answer your questions more
Well,
thoroughly.
I'm actually taking notes. What I'm gonna do is I'll revert back to Jason and get your answers, and then I'll stop by and let you know.
Perfect.
Because I don't
I
know the
appreciate that.
answers, so the one thing I didn't get wrote down, on the fire hydrant, I've got the concern of metering water, but you had another concern of
There's
backflow.
or better.
backflow, okay.
Because we don't want to tell you the wrong thing. and-
Yeah, I don't wanna tell
'Cause
you the
he's had
wrong thing, I'd
convers-
rather discuss
he-
with Jason,
He's
because
had conversations
Yeah.
that.
that
were
we
not-
haven't.
And I
Yeah.
know the last, they hadn't made it down as far as what they were, but the last meeting that we were at here, he had stated some safety concerns and that it never, it just went over head until I seen it and I'm like, oh, I understand the validation and the safety concerns now.
Yeah, and there,
I can tell you there's a lot of talks going on right now.
and there's lots of that's the thing, we don't want to say anything because we don't know.
No, I
Right.
respect that.
And
Yeah.
like, I'd rather say I don't know and then refer you to the right person, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the four major,
Honestly,
cause,
with the amount of stuff that they're not doing, you can fire them, hire somebody to get it done quicker, and they have to put them out.
and don't,
It
quote-
takes one
don't,
phone call and then one of those
don't
holes.
quote me on this either, but a lot of times, and I'll run this by Jason, but as I understand it, a lot of times we'll actually try to work with them the best we can because there's a certain time frame for us to spend the grant money. And Jason actually works to get grants to cover all
So
that.
once you get the grant money, I do work with grant money, I get federal funding and I get ODOT funding. Once you receive that funding, you have 2 years to complete, once you receive the funding.
But we're having trouble getting bids. We have one that we've already put a bid up, nobody bid on it, and now we're putting it back up, and we'll probably lose the grant money if somebody didn't bid. So we run into that too. Contractors, which you guys probably know, are so busy right
Oh,
now.
we are, yes,
So
we are.
we even have trouble
We're no bid for a lot
getting,
of things.
yeah, so, and of course, I don't know if it's on this one. I'm just saying the different things that have come up, so.
There should still be somebody, I mean, you can't put a price on safety.
No,
So-
totally agree, and I'm gonna bring up, so I've got 4 things that I'm gonna ask him about. Basically, the schedule, if they're gonna provide a schedule and when. Lay down area, and if it's designated on any of the plans. The fire hydrant, metering water, and then the backflow on it. And, is there a safety inspector?
Yeah, and with verandas, do you have the engineer for verandas?
Yeah.
Because they would have the specifications that should hold all of that information too.
Yeah, I figured there's something, I just don't have it here, so.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, hey, we just want everybody to be great, safe, and so thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah.
We want to make it right.
Okay, so, let's see. Is there any other public input? Just make sure. Yep, okay. So we'll move on to council reports. So in the finance meeting, there was nothing new to bring up. We will talk about a supplemental appropriation in new business. On zoning and property maintenance, don't have anything to report. Robert's Rules and Laws.
Well, we're able to meet, to go over more ordinances, so I think we're gonna table it till next time, and then, we can get together and schedule again, because we had to cancel. And we'll let Sam know that's 48 hours in advance so that everybody, so we can put it on, can you hear me, Sam?
Yeah,
So we can, let everybody know when the next meeting's gonna be, and anybody that wants to attend can attend. So,
Okay.
I don't have anything else besides that.
Okay, recreation, community center and pool?
Nothing new.
Okay, and I'll just note that sometime next week, Casey will pass out popsicles for you at the park, and the girls will put it on the website when that's gonna happen. And then, safety and service,
We're gonna have the roof painted out there at the, water plant, make the shop out there, or maintenance building, whatever you wanna call it. We can bring it up when Jason gave us the okay to do that out there, but I'm gonna have them look at the building over here, the barn, or whatever you wanna call it, where we store stuff, cause it's in the same shape, so. The
Okay.
guy gave us a good price on it, so while he's here doing that, we'll have him look at that and see if we can get that one done also. Other than that,
do you need his mic closer to him?
Yeah, I didn't, what are you,
Yeah, move your mic down a little closer.
what are you
I
having,
said-
what else?
we're having to paint the building
Right,
out
I
there
got that.
painted,
I knew
the
that
roof on
part.
painted. We're gonna have the guy while he's here, because it wasn't brought up at the time, look at the other barn.
the
that
maintenance
we-
barn.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
and
Thank
we're
you.
gonna have him look at that and see about painting it, since he's here,
Okay,
and giving us such a good deal on it.
thank you. Sorry, Bob. What happened again?
Okay, so, moving on to county board representative reports. So their regional planning, they're still basically, working on zoning and having discussions. There was a meeting last Tuesday. Nothing new to report. And the Board of Health, there hasn't been a meeting, so there's nothing new to report on that. Grant updates, the applied projects, so the OPWC 2023 funding for Walnut Street improvements, and the CDBG 2024 for Audi Park playground equipment. The funded programs are the NRG funding for Hickenlooper paving on East Columbus Street, or the funded project, sorry, and the CDBG funding pool bathrooms and pool concrete, and then the OPWC funding for Summit Street storm lines. And then there's water meter replacements in process, and the ARPA county level funding, the water tower refurbishment. And then lastly, there's the FC Land Bank mini grant for the door replacement that's in process of funding. And then on future projects, we have Safe Routes to School partner with the FULSD School District. That's to be determined. And then there's Main Street improvements, 5 to 7 mil, looking future date of 25 to 26. That encompasses the CORPO, the ODOT TAP, and the OPWC. And then there's the WTP design for $450K, the WTP build for 2 to 3 bill, 100 North Main Street at $800K, South Main Street sidewalks and curbs for $400, Richland sidewalks $125, and then West Columbus Street sidewalks, the Lincoln Avenue Phase 2 $400K, First and Second Street storm sewer, that's to be determined. The High Street and Pearl Street storm sewer is also to be determined. And then Lincoln Avenue Phase 3 for $400K. And those are all future projects that we're hoping to get underway. Maintenance project, or maintenance report, Casey?
Basically, for the maintenance, not a lot's going on. We've had to do 2 curb box replacements. We're still trying to track down some possible leakage. Yeah, once again, we have plastic pipes. It's almost impossible unless it pops up this surface.
Right.
Because most everything's on listening devices, doesn't really do good with plastic. That's why we're still working to put in the meters and stuff as we get them. All the stop bars and the curbs have been painted in town. They've either been repainted or painted to code. Some of them we had missed, we didn't know that we had to bring up, but we did. We brought them up all the code. Pool project, the decking is complete. The bathroom has been taken off the list altogether. We're going to try to, we're working with the county to get that transferred up to the project up at Audi for the concession stand restroom district.
Okay.
There was just too much drama to do the bathrooms. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Right.
We've had, pretty much got all the fire hydrants painted. We're pretty cautious they're all. We're hoping there's not one out in the bushes. And then we've mostly been, trying to get all the old street signs out, repairing, putting in new ones, trying to figure it out, because we gotta bring them back up to date. And then, just getting ready for the music festival.
Okay.
We started that.
Okay. Police report, Chief Garber?
Okay, so, since the last council meeting, we put on a new auxiliary officer, Marquis Crisp. She, had experience as a police officer for the mental health hospital in Columbus, and kinda got tired of doing the incarcerated gig. So she's working for us as a reserve officer. And her field training started and everything points to she's probably gonna be a great officer for us. So she's picking up things right away and all that, so looking forward to getting her through the field training program and putting her out. We do have officers scheduled for the music festival and parade, that's coming up at the end of the month. I don't know if, the mayor communicated with you guys at all, but, the Tahoe, the K9 car, obviously it's a 2013, it's got the V8 motor, so it is drinking a lot more gas actually at idle than even driving it on like the highway or whatever. So, for an example, I just happened to notice when I filled it up to full on Monday, by the end of a 7 or 8 hour shift, I'd driven like 20-some miles. And it had idled the rest of the time, of course, for air conditioning for the dog. It had burned through a third of a tank of fuel. And so that's equating to like $39 a day or so. So what we're looking at doing is just, obviously, we've already paid for the car and outfitted and everything. And the gameplay's fine. Is use a little less. And so what I think we're probably gonna do is I will purchase a K9 enclosure for the newer Ford, which is a lot more fuel economical. They made vast improvements in the miles per gallon and stuff from even like the 2019 model to the 2020, which is like the current style and motor and everything else. It did sacrifice a little bit of power, but it's a lot more economical motor. So I'll probably purchase the K9 enclosure for that, and we'll put it in Ford. We'll keep the Tahoe, probably just peel the K9 stickers off of it, and it'll be the reserve car, and we'll just have the Charger as like a part-time auxiliary vehicle. And then obviously, it's good because it has prisoner transport capabilities and K9, so we would have a reserve for either way. So I mean, I think it'll be good, but we'll save the fuel, which will probably be about, I'm estimating, about half. So that'll probably amount to about, $5,000 over the course of the year, which is, a little bit less than what the K9 enclosure costs anyway. I'm planning on purchasing it myself, and then when we get donation money come into the K9 fund, maybe reimburse it at that time or whatever, but I'm not too worried about it because I can expense it on the company side, so it'll be fine for the time being. I think that'll be a better and a quick solution. We'll have to wait probably a month or 6 weeks to get the actual cage in, and then we'll put it ourselves because that's another major expense. If you farm it out to do the lights and the sirens and the cages and all that stuff, it's thousands of dollars. So they're not that difficult. It's just a little bit of a job to do it. So the police department handled about 121 cases for the month of July. Of those, 48 were traffic citations. About an equal amount were warnings, and the balance of that was calls for service. We did have, I think it was 2 physical arrests where we had to take people to jail for like CPO violations and things of that nature, but nothing crazy like the machete incident and stuff like that lately, thankfully. I was out for a week, and the part-time officers covered, and that seemed to work out pretty good, so I think that's how we'll try to operate, like, depending on budget, and Jason seems to have a really good grasp on that. We'll probably just do that going forward, so if I have to go out of town for work or whatever, which may be happening a little bit more because of some recent meetings we've had at the company, then we'll try to supplement while I'm out here with the part-time staff. We do have 2 interested reserve officers. One is already through the training and certified police officer, works for the county as a probation officer, wants to keep the police certificate active and is willing to work for us as a reserve officer and maintain that, and because he wants to do police work. He was going to come up this evening, but I found out Jason wasn't here, and there's going to be a rush for him anyway, so I told him just, we'll do it another day. But so long as everything checks out on him, which I have no reason to think that it won't because of his current employment.
Right.
Should be fine, and if Jason wants to put them on, we did order some extra badges, so we can make it happen right away. We do the patches in now, so that was always a big hang-up forever, was badges and patches waiting on them. And then we do have a female who's gonna test mid-August.
Next week.
Okay, so next week, and if she completes that, successfully passes the test, then I believe she is going to apply and be a good candidate for us as well, so we'll be putting on a couple more officers
Okay.
between now and your next meeting.
What academy is she?
What is it?
What academy is she going through, just out of curiosity? Okay.
Yeah, Eastland, they know her a little better than I do,
Yeah.
as you can tell. And then, I was we had a call right before the meeting, so I'm late getting us done, but we do plan on having police officer in the school zone for, the beginning and the end of the day, for the first couple of days of school, and then we try to do that anyway, because it's a little bit chaotic down there with the walkers, the buses, and then that unusual intersection that, people flying in off Pleasant Hill Road, so we're gonna try to watch the school zone more this year, so. Any questions for the police department?
No, I didn't know you had a canine fund though, so,
It's like, well, as far as all I know is that people have made donations, and
Okay.
then I just turn it over to their clerk's office, and what they do with it, it may just be in the general fund and earmarked or something.
gotcha, okay,
So I don't know if it's actually like it's not like a savings account at a bank or anything,
right,
so.
right.
You probably know better than I do how that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
looking at the wrong
we
person.
had two donations, one was from,
It's like 500.
The marathon
the
from
Marathon
500.
did one, and then somebody else did another one.
Was it Delete or Lodge?
It was a lodge,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
the
good,
Masons or whatever.
good, yeah, okay,
So, I think it was 500 from each one of them, and it was enough to pay for the jacket for the
The
dog.
vest.
right,
But I asked him if he wanted to get it, but he said he wanted to wait a
Yeah.
little while and then.
okay,
Well, we don't wanna buy it prematurely, 'cause I don't know if she's done growing,
right,
and, buy something and then now it doesn't fit, so.
right,
Plus, she's not doing apprehension work right now. They wanna wait until about the 2-year mark to train her in that. So I think we'll just wait for the vest until she's gonna be, trained in apprehension. Right now, she's, more or less a rescue dog, search and
Right.
rescue and article search, things like that, and then she's still doing the narcotics training, but that's near completion, but she's not like a bite dog right now.
yeah,
So that'll be down the road, not worry about that then. But I don't think she's gonna be like in harm's way for a bulletproof vest until that time.
okay. Have we, thought about putting anything up at the festival for the canine fund? Maybe we should
We
discuss that, yeah, maybe afterwards. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe we can come up with something, cause that might be a great way for people to donate,
Yep. So,
Put it with
Any
the
other
50/50.
yeah,
We had a little girl come in, I think it was to hear, wasn't it, Casey? And she had her dad bring her, and she brought in money for the dog, and it was $1.47.
We did the same thing over at the Garver office, the little girl,
That
round
was the
girl.
girl, that was
That was
the
a
She
little
actually
girl.
made us little buttons, that
Yeah.
says thank you, and then gave us
In the little
some
blue
change.
sash.
Yes.
Yep, yeah, it got
Yes.
brought over here.
Yep.
And Penny and I sat involved.
Raylan.
we put her donation on Facebook, 'cause I wasn't there when it happened, so.
She was very sweet.
It was pennies and dollars, it was like, you could tell she was
That's
like
awesome.
screaming for money. It was
yeah,
like, oh
that's
my God.
awesome,
See what I said, bought, I'm like, oh my goodness.
She was in her office for quite a while, just chit chatting.
Yes, so she was up sitting with her dad.
Yeah.
She might be your next officer.
right?
You never know.
That's what she wants to be as a police officer. When she was that senior.
She might be the next world champion canine officer.
Right, right,
Or she'll decide to be 7 things: an astronaut, a veterinarian, a police officer, and a baker. Whatever.
okay, well, thank you. Okay, so anybody have any old business? I think I do. No? Okay, so new business, we do have a, resolution 08-08-24-01 for supplemental appropriations. 101, moving to the general fund for the Ohio Public Employee Retirement System. 5,791 for proof and tech services for the skid steer tires and the mowing and spraying. Then there's the 2,400 in the general fund for auditors, and then the street fund 2,000 for telephone, the street fund $2,464.38 for operating supplies, and mat salt and signs, or I'm guessing that's signs paint. And then park and rec 500 for repairs and maintenance. Approved July 11th, 2024.
I'd like to change the date.
August 8th.
So do we have a motion to pass the resolution?
I'll make a motion. Bill made a motion, Corey seconded.
Yeah. Okay, roll call?
Councilman Jamal,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pangborn.
Yes.
Councilman Harrier, Councilman Morton.
Yes.
Councilman Henry.
Okay, any council member comments or concerns?
Do you have any updates on what's going on with the work on the water tower since the one crew, up and left the last time we had the meeting?
I don't know, Bob, do you know anything? Normally your water. No?
Jason's had meetings all week regarding that. We have been told that if anybody comes in and questions, to let Jason know.
Okay.
That he's been working on it all. That's his message.
I've not
right now.
heard anybody question it, I was the first
Yeah,
one curious
that's all I
about it.
know, is he's been working on the matter all week,
Okay.
so.
Okay. And then moving on to miscellaneous items, so festival volunteers. I'll let you probably take the lead on that one, I'm sure.
Okay, so, festival's coming up on the 24th, third week, and we do have a few things, that we need volunteers for. There's only very few of us that are doing a lot of work, so, for instance, we have, the silent auction and basically a table where you sit and you sell raffle tickets, sell 50/50, be the bearer of the K-9 bucket, whatever. So that, Jason has a schedule, so if anybody can volunteer for that, it'd be greatly appreciated. There's also opportunity for setup and tear down. I personally am gonna be there at 8 in the morning, because I've got vendors, I'm the vendor chair, so I'll be there, making sure people get off the festival times at a good time, so they don't run people over. I'm just kidding. So people can set up their stuff and then go find a place to park. But there's also opportunity at night to tear down tables, tear down, and get things ready for them to pick up the tent, and pick up the tables and things like that. So if anybody wants to volunteer, doesn't have to be, you don't have to commit to 8 hours, you can commit to an hour in the afternoon or whatever. And also, if anybody knows anyone that has contact with a company, with a business, that can do silent auction donations, our silent auction person, some from the military, so she was in the office this year. So we do have some silent auction items from the vendors, they're required to give something for the silent auction. But if anybody has any ideas for a basket, you can think of babysitting services, or cleaning services, or lawn mowing services, or any kind of service that we can put up for auction, because it's always expensive to pay for our festival for the village. So, I think that about covers it. And does that cover it? You were at the meeting.
Yeah. Yep, we just need donations
We need donations
of
and we
time,
need
of people,
time
and
people.
bodies. And
bodies.
Okay.
So,
And
It
so
really
what-
is fun. I know you're donating time and you're sitting at the table doing cash raffle. Bonus is if you're volunteering to sell the cash raffles, the winning ticket, whoever sells it gets $100. So if you're sitting at that table selling those raffles, you put your name on a ticket, you win $100.
right.
So that's bonus.
It's also nice and cool.
It is nice and cool because you're in the shelter house with the silent auction stuff. So
And there's a bathroom in
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a little celebrate.
And that's the only thing you guys need help covering? That's actually
it.
not
Well,
too bad.
there's lots of stuff, but,
Okay.
Casey might have more of an insight.
Okay.
I know I won't be hanging banners, that was a mistake.
So yeah, we'll be over there I'll be over there Friday, Thursday evening and then most of the day Friday,
Okay.
setting things up. So if anybody has any time on Friday that wants to come over, banners do need hung up on the fence, like just zip tied up there or whatever, and, moving the tables out and set them up and ready to go. So that can't
That's
happen
Friday?
until Friday because the tents come Friday.
You can't
So,
set
but the
something.
banners can go up on Friday anytime, so we definitely need help doing all that stuff. I mean,
It's a
we
great
have-
job for teenagers. Because you have to get up and down a ladder.
As long as you're not afraid of a ladder. I can't do it. I'm afraid of heights,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I can come help with that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm not scared of ladders. Okay. Okay, so there's nothing else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Do we have to take a call?
Yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah,
for-
I didn't think
not
we
for
did on
that.
that one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay,
7:37.
7:37. So I actually am in town this year.